So hey there guys, so today's video is going to be my very first 24-hour readathon. I've been wanting to do this for quite a while, but something happened in my life literally tonight where I'm going to be home a lot the next couple of days, and I figured what better time to film this than not being able to go anywhere. But I might be going I have a dentist appointment tomorrow, but besides that, I might have to go take my car in because I ended up crashing my car into a boulder. I'm not going to explain everything right now because I really don't feel like saying it again, but basically I'm going to have to take the car in and get the front bumper fixed because it's falling off now. So, but I didn't crash into anybody, so... And I'm glad I'm okay, but my car isn't. So yeah. So I figured what better time to film a 24-hour readathon when I'm having so much time on my hands. I'm also like feeling very reading slumpish right now. I've been feeling like I haven't wanted to read as much as I would have liked to. I also haven't finished a book in 2 days, and I know that's like normal for people that don't read as much as I do, but for me, like, I love it so much, and I have been reading a certain book and then that I'm going to finish first in this video, but this is completely different to the vlog that I had planned literally 2 days ago. I haven't read any of those books yet because I'm still reading the book that I started like a few days ago in January, and I've just been continuing it because I've been really enjoying it. So these are the 3 potential reads. Oh my god, can I hold my freaking Kindle up? These are the 3 potential reads that I'm going to be reading in this video. I fully intend to finish at least one of these books. Well, I'm definitely going to finish the first one, and I think I should definitely finish a second book. But for me, I'm just like not that type of person that really loves using a timer for reading, because I feel like it's so distracting to me. But like with the reading sprints that I've done with like Allie, and also like I feel like sometimes it helps. I forget if I've done it with anybody else. I don't think I have. I think I've set a timer once when I needed to like go somewhere, but like sometimes it helps because like it really gets you to be determined to read, because I've been picking up my phone a lot more lately, and usually I don't do that. Usually I'm really good about not picking up my phone, but I don't know. I'm feeling a bit life slumpy at the current moment because I don't really have a direction to go right now, but like, you know, reading is my escape. It's my escapism. So, and I'm also going to be including my audiobook that I'm finishing, and I should finish that as well. So out of all the books that we read in this video, we should definitely be finishing the one on my Kindle and my audiobook, because I only have 3 hours left on my Kindle read and only less than an hour left on the audiobook. But we're going to try and finish 2 full-length books as well. I mean, like, I feel like 24 hours is, like, not as long as people think as, like, I think it is in my head. I'm like, oh, I could probably only finish, like, 2 books. But I'm going to try and finish 4. So this is the potential TBR. So... But, like, when we actually start reading for that amount of time, it's actually a long period of time. And, like, when I actually think about, like, when I do read in my leisure time and when I want to read, I might only read, like, for 3 to 4 hours a day. Because for me, like, I want to read when I want to read, or I want to enjoy when I want to read, or I want to, like, do other things besides reading, like watching YouTube or... like filming a video, or clean my, like, do, like, things that I need to get done, like hang out with my friends and stuff. But I just, like, haven't really felt the desire to read lately. And I always feel this way, like, at the beginning of a month. And I've said this in my reading wrap up. I did read 16 books in January and 2 rereads of Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, but Um, basically, I just haven't really finished a book because I haven't read as much as I usually do. I'm still reading on my Kindle though, and I think it was, honestly a great idea for me to pick a Kindle read to finish in this video because we all read faster on the Kindle. It's just a known fact, honestly. It just feels like it's less intimidating sometimes, and like the Kindle is like so good for like when you're feeling like you're in a reading slump. And for me, I'm really not a person that falls into reading slumps. I'm like, oh, I'm immune to that. But honestly, that's how I've been feeling the past couple of days. I haven't really felt like reading at all, but I've been continuing this book and I've been absolutely loving this book. And every time I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to continue it, but as soon as I pick it up, I am absolutely loving it. So the first book that we are going to be finishing in this video is Frederick Bachman's Beartown. So I have been reading this over the past couple of days. I think I started it like maybe like 29th or 30th of January. So it's February 3rd right now and I'm still reading this book. But it's been like a little bit difficult for me to like reach my, reading goals for the day. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get like 75% in. I am 70% of the way through this though. So we'll definitely be able to finish this. I'm on page 303. And so far, I'm absolutely loving this book. This is my very first Frederick Bachman book. And I did say that I was going to put this on my January TBR. And I love it. I think it's so good. I think I can't really like describe into words like how Frederick Bachman writes, but his writing is fantastic. And the way that it flows and his quotes and like I've been highlighting so damn much in this book. It's not even funny because there's just such powerful things that he says, but I'm going to obviously fully review this when I finish it. I'm not going to ramble on about how good it is. And then these other two books, one of them I just ended up really wanting to be in the mood. I really was in the mood to read this book, and I think I'm going to go into this book next because I feel like I just need something short and sweet and something that will make me laugh. I wasn't really in a thriller mood, even though usually I pick up thrillers when I'm in like a reading or I'm feeling like I don't want to read. Then I usually pick up a thriller and it gets me right back into reading again. But I'm supposed to be reading a thriller for another reading vlog that I'm filming. I'm always like in the middle of like two reading vlogs as soon as like the next month starts. And I also haven't posted my 2 reading vlogs that I filmed in January because I need to post my reading wrap up. But I didn't finish filming that because I started filming it earlier today before I went out. But I didn't finish it because of everything that happened with my car and stuff. So yeah, so the next book that I really want to read in this video is Sarah Adams' Beg, Borrow, or Steal. I just was really in the mood to read this. I also think I was just in the mood to read a new romance author. And I've heard nothing but really good things about Sarah Adams' books. And again, I haven't read any Sarah Adams books. And I think that this is going to be perfect after Beartown. I think because it's going to be a good little palate cleanser. Also because, Beartown is talking about heavy stuff, but the way that like Frederick Bachman like takes breaks introducing like the heavy topics and then he pulls back and he kind of makes you laugh, makes you continue want to read on and on and on. It's just so good. But I think this is going to be the perfect little palate cleanser, and I just want like, to start February with like a cute little fluffy romance. So I'm definitely going to be finishing this book in this video. It's definitely going to happen because it's just a little romance read. And then the third book that I really do want to read in this video, I don't know if we're going to exactly finish it, but we're going to fucking try. And that is Heavenly Bodies by Amani Aruru, I think. Why did I say Aruru? That's not right at all. It's Ariu. Oh my God. Let me mispronounce it like 5 million times. First off, look how beautiful this cover is. It's gorgeous. And I love like the purple sprayed edges. They're just so beautiful. And it has a little picture of like end paper designs. And it's just so pretty. Does the back cover have anything? I actually have no idea. Oh, I like that too. Oh, that's really nice. But I picked this up literally yesterday and I've been dying to read this. I did read the synopsis of Beg, Borrow, or Steal in my TBR, so I don't think I'm gonna read the synopsis of that again. I'll read a little blurb of this one, but I'm dying to read this. And I kind of want like another romantasy read, and this is just the first book in the series. The second book is out, but it's not traditionally published. This recently got traditionally published. The second book comes out in November, traditionally published. So if I talk backwards, just because like my brain is like in the gutter right now, I'm just like not doing that great. But I also need to get into bed because it's like fucking 2:50 in the morning. I don't know why I'm filming this intro now. I'm just a very impulsive person, but we're going to be reading Beartown for the rest of the night, hopefully for like a half hour or so. I might not even start the timer until tomorrow morning. Hopefully I can get some reading done in the morning. I'm not really sure if I'm going to have to take my car in with my mom. So, because she's like fucking pissed at me. So, it is what it is. So, this one says, a runaway TikTok sensation, Heavenly Bodies is the first book in a dazzling new romantasy series that blends Greek mythology and shadow magic with a tantalizing enemies to lovers romance that will rewrite the stars. In a world ruled by cruel and merciless stars, Alara has been cursed by fate. A prophecy promises she will fall for a star, but that it will kill them both. So when Arete, star of wrath and war, descends to wreak havoc on Alara's kingdom of night, she flees her home only to be captured by the neighboring Helios, kingdom of light, and falls straight into the arms of the enemy prince. I'm just like so intrigued to read this. And you know, it's kind of like a romance theme because we got a romance and a romantasy, so that's actually really good for Valentine's Day. But Beartown is literally like the complete opposite. It's not, there's not, well, there's like a bit of romance in this, but it's not like lovey-dovey, so, but it's just so good. I absolutely love it. And then the audio book that we will definitely be finishing in this video, because I only, again, have less than an hour left. And this one was on my audiobook TBR for January. That is The Favorites by Lane Fargo. Oh my god, this is so good. Like, literally, for a reading slump, nothing is better than the Kindle and an audiobook, I swear. Like, I'm so glad that I decided to go in with a Kindle read. But it was literally the book that I already started. And this book I had started, I think, on the 30th. And this, oh my god, this book is so freaking good. It's getting a little bit crazy, though, at the end. And not, like, in the best way. Like, I don't know. I'm going to have to give you guys my full review. But I think it's going to be, like, I thought it was going to be a 5-star. But I think it's going to be, like, a 4.5, maybe a 4.65. But that's still really good. I'm absolutely devouring this. I think it's so good. I would have finished it tonight, but Gaga dropped her new song, so I had to listen to that. So yeah, I'm going to go, and we are going to set our timer. Why am I looking for my phone when I literally just put it down next to me? But yeah, I'm not doing great, so I'm kind of in denial right now. So yeah, it really, 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 really sucks. My friend just got back to me because I left her an audio message. But we are going to set a timer for 24 hours. This is going to be so much fun. I've been wanting to do this video for so long. What the hell? Why can't you? I guess I'm setting it for 23 hours and the hell, that's so dumb. 23, 59, 59. What? That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. Can I restart it? Okay. So there's the timer. It says 23, 59, 58. I don't know why you can't set it to 24 hours, but It's fine. Oh my God, we'll just set it for like one more minute pretty much at the end. Or we'll just read for an extra minute. Oh my God, we're not reading for another minute. What are we gonna do? So yeah, I'm really excited, and I will check back in with you guys when I finish Beartown. So bye. Okay, so hey there guys. I wanted to give you guys an update on where I'm at with the timer with this 24-hour readathon. So I guess I started this at 3 o'clock, but I thought I started it this morning. Anyway, we are at 21 hours now and 24 minutes. So we're a little bit less than 3 hours into this. I am still reading Beartown, but I think I read at least like 90 pages today already in 2.5 hours. So that's pretty good. I'm still reading this book though. Like, I just want to finish it. But honestly, like, this is a book that I was so happy that I took my time with, because this book is just incredibly written. I'm just like I'm just in awe on how incredible Frederick Bachman's writing is. Like, literally every page I have like a quote highlighted, or like a passage highlighted, and they're just phenomenally written. And like, literally the way that he like introduces like an object or like a character, or like something that a character says earlier on in the book, he constantly keeps those themes throughout the whole book, and he'll like bring it up like maybe 50 pages later, and he'll be like, oh, like, there's like this one thing that this one lady says where it says like, you're nothing in this world if you're alone, and he keeps like that theme throughout the entire book. And like, it's so, like, people said his writing is so good for ADHD people, and I 100% agree with that, because like, people who read that have ADHD, it's a lot harder for us to remember like everything about a certain book, especially myself. Like, I feel like sometimes as soon as I read a book, like, it leaves me, or like, you only remember like certain bits and pieces of the book. But with this, like, he constantly kind of reminds you in that way, that he constantly keeps like the same phrase, or like he keeps on saying bang or bang bang bang, and I have a feeling that's gonna lead to somebody killing someone with a gun in this book. And because it keeps on having a buildup of, you think it's like the hockey puck getting thrown around like the ice and being hit on the ice. So I think he's gonna make like an incredible analogy between like the puck and the gun at the end, whoever ends up shooting the gun, because honestly, I think it's one person, but it could be somebody totally different that ends up killing this certain character. And it's just, oh my God, like, everyone, literally every single one of these characters plays a part in this conflict that happened in the book, because somebody committed a crime. Okay, somebody committed a crime, and it completely divides the town in half. And it's just like, I can't talk about it anymore without spoiling it, but I will say this: it's incredible the way that he portrays how people get so divided once like a tragedy happens, or once like a crime happens, because people always choose sides on what they want to be on with everything in our lives. I'm on a certain side of everything when it comes to politics, when it comes to like serial killers, when it comes to shows, when it comes to books, when it comes to movies, everything. Even the books we read, they're our favorite books because that's the style of writing that we love, or the certain genre that we really like, or we really loved the story, or we connected with the characters in a certain way. Like, there's always different factors that make something, whether we dislike or like it. And it's like, if we believe something is right and wrong. So that's like, this town is so incredibly toxic that usually they are on the side of wrong. And the way that it all unfolds is just mind-blowing to me, on how well written he writes this certain crime that was committed, especially from a male author's perspective. he is so sensitive to this topic, and I can see why people love his writing. I am going to read every single one of his books now. I don't know when I'm going to get to the other 2 books in Beartown, but I kind of want to get to them sooner rather than later. It's not going to be in this video. We're going to read a different book after this, but finally going to finish this book, so let's go ahead and do that, and I will check back in with you guys when I finish it. It should only take me, like, I'm on page 397. I was on page, I think, like 305, 306 this morning, so yeah, I've read almost 100 pages today, so that's pretty good, and I actually had, like, quite a few things going on today. Like, I had to go take my car to get repaired, and now it's going to be in the shop for a good almost 5 days or even more. So, and then I had to go to the dentist with my mom, and then we had to go to an implant specialist because I need to get an implant for my tooth. So I've lost 3 things in the past 2 days. I've lost a bumper, I'm losing a tooth, and I'm going to lose this nail. I don't know when, but life has been very dandy. I had my own breakdown last night. I had a panic attack, so yeah. But we're reading still, guys, and we'll finally finish a fucking book. So I will check back in with you guys later, and then I'll also check back in when I finish the favorites. I have less than an hour left, so at least we're finishing books in this video, but there are books that I've been reading for the past few days. So yeah, that's it. Bye. You guys, I just finished Beartown. That took me, I think, 3 hours and 3 minutes, because now the timer says 20:57. That was amazing. That was amazing. Absolutely gut-wrenching, but fantastically written. And I pretty much have said my thoughts before. But that was just, I understand why he's so popular. And like I said, I want to read all of his books now. It ended way differently than I thought. Way differently than I thought. You have to read this book. Like, I'm not trying to influence you to read something that you might not be interested in, but honestly, some of the books that I recommend literally just change me as a person. Like, this book literally had such a mental impact on me, and I think that's why people love his book so much. I can't even, like, remember what I want to say about it. It's just, it was incredible. 5 stars. 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. It did take me pretty much a week to finish it, though. But like I said, I did start it on, like, it said on Goodreads that I started it the 27th of January and I finished it the 3rd of February. But I did finish, like, a few other books before that. Like, I finished The Crash and Out of the Woods, so it's not like I haven't finished other books lately. I just hadn't finished a book this month yet, and I feel like there's such pressure in February to read as many books as you can because it's the shortest month of the year, but I finished it. That's all that matters, and it just matters if I was reading, and I still read over 100 pages of this today, so, but 100 pages in 3 hours, like, that, I guess that's my average, unless it's like a book that, like, really sucks me in and I could read like 50 or 60 pages all like in an hour, like The Nightingale. I can't believe how fast I read that book. I love this. I loved this so much, and I'm so glad we started off on a great note. I probably will finish the favorites later, so I'm going to continue with one of these 2 options. Like I said, I'm still really in the mood to read both of these. I'm going to go with Heavenly Bodies, though, by Amani Eriu. Keep on butchering that name. Why is this, like, so freaking dirty, though? Sorry, it's, like, so dark. I just did not turn on the other light. Maybe I should, because I feel like you cannot see a damn thing. There we go. So yeah, I really, really want to go into this one because I'm really dying for a romantasy. I'm kind of in a romantasy mood. And I think it's better if I start this first because this book is longer than this one. So I think I'm going to go with this one right after. It depends on how long this book takes me to finish. Again, it's only been 3 hours, so we still have like 21 hours, pretty much 21 hours left, because it does say 2057, but we have like basically 21 hours. It's crazy, like, you think like 24 hours, like I said, it's not like such a long time, but like I said, when I average like how long I actually typically read every day, it's only like maybe 3 to 5 hours. 3 hours if like bare minimum, and like 5 hours is probably like my maximum, unless it's like a book that I'm binging, like a thriller, then I can read that in like 5 hours, and that will make me finish the book all in one day. But I don't know, we'll see how long it takes me to get to, I want to at least get to maybe over 100 pages tonight, because again, this book doesn't seem like it's like a, no, it looks like it's a very readable font and a very readable book, so I'm very excited to read this. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and then we will go into Beg, Borrow, or Steal after that. I also potentially will add one more option if we do have time. We probably won't, because with the rate that I read, and those are the 2 full-length books that I want to read in the next couple of days. Who knows if we're going to finish it or not. But this is like a novella, and I've been waiting for this to come out since it was announced. I didn't even know that this book was coming out until like a few weeks ago, because I already knew that her like 2025 romance was coming out already, but Abby Jimenez's The Fall Risk is only 82 pages, so I really do want to read this, because y'all know Abby Jimenez is my all-time favorite romance author. I buy every one of her books, and I cry at every single one of her books. I don't know if this one's gonna make me cry. I did cry a little bit at Beartown. It's just because it's so incredibly written, and like it was so amazingly well done. But yeah, you can get this if you're part of Amazon's like Kindle Kindle subscription. You can get this as a first readers book, because it's an Amazon original story. So this book actually doesn't come out to the general public until March 1st. But since I am a Kindle subscriber, I can read this as soon as I can, and I can get one more Kindle read on in this video, and it's a really, really short read. So I honestly just wanted to go into this next, but I'm like, no, let me save it until the end of this, because it's super short and sweet, and we'll see how long it takes me to finish it. Regardless if the timer runs out or not, I will definitely still finish it and give you guys my thoughts if I can't finish it within the 24-hour time span, because basically the goal is to finish both of these books. So I hope I can do it. I don't know why I feel so intimidated. So yeah, but they really got me to just sit down and focus on reading, because I feel like when you set a certain time goal for yourself, it really makes you like not... I haven't really picked up my phone as much today, because like, again, I've just been so distracted with my phone lately, like basically scrolling Goodreads and YouTube. And I've been watching a lot more YouTube videos than reading, but also like my girls have been posting YouTube videos left and right. So, but I'm gonna go have some dinner now, because I need to eat, and then we will probably just pick up reading right after that. So yeah, I will check in with you guys when we start Heavenly Bodies, and I'm so excited for this book. So bye. Hey guys, so I wanted to give you guys one more update before I go to sleep for the night, because I'm going to be filming this over the course of probably 3 days. I feel like I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do 12 hours today. Yeah, right. No, that's not what happened. I think I read for let's see, almost 7 hours. So 6.7 hours is how long I read for today, because the timer's at 17 hours and 22 minutes right now. I think I'm going to round it out to 17 hours before I go to sleep, because I'll definitely be able to read for like 20 more minutes at least, or get like under 16 hours. But this has been like a really good way for me to read a lot more. So like I said, I'm currently reading Heavenly Bodies by Imani Ryu. I'm on page 148. I literally just hit page 100 like an hour ago, and I read it physically for the first 100 pages, and then I saw that it's also available on Spotify Premium. Well, actually, I read like 107 pages, and then I listened to like basically 40 pages. So I'm up to 150 already, which is great. And so far, I think I am loving this. This is so good. This is so incredibly fast paced. The chapters are so short. Like the longest chapter that I've had is like 8 pages, but like most of them are like 5 to 6 pages long, which I love. They're kind of like written like thriller chapters, but like the enemies to lovers in this is so good, and I love like the magic system in this, and the magic that is like she's keeping it a theme throughout the whole book. Like sometimes some books like go like very very into like the character's relationship, which is fine, but for me, like I've said before, a 5-star romantasy for me has to have a perfect balance of the romance and the fantasy. I actually think I enjoy the fantasy element of this just a little bit more, but I think that their banter is very funny. It's not like Fear the Flames level or Quicksilver or like that kind of banter level or like Fourth Wing, but like it's still hitting. I'm still really enjoying this, so I'm really liking it. And I'm glad I got that far into it today. I was hoping to just get to page 100 before I went to sleep, but I'm almost on page 150 because it's so incredibly fast paced. I can tell that this is another book that I'm gonna not even like really feel like it's a long read, because I love those kind of books where even though this book is 480 pages, it doesn't feel like that to me, because I feel like it just moves so quickly. And I love that, especially in a fantasy book. So I'm so glad I picked up another romantasy, because I really was in the mood to read a romantasy. And I'm glad that I did that, because I wasn't sure if I was ready for a romance yet. I mean, I'm going to probably start listening to Beg, Borrow, or Steal tomorrow night. Actually, I can't. Oh my God. Hold on, I'll tell you why. But yeah, loving this. I'm just really loving the banter between Alara and Prince Lorenzo. It's so good. Like, I can't really like update you guys about much about what's going on, because I feel like it's going to be really spoilery, but I'm really liking like the development of Alara's power. Basically Lorenzo has to like train her in order to kill a god, and that's basically in the synopsis. But they are both like enemy kingdoms to each other, but they also serve like the higher gods, like the celestial gods. But they actually like don't even know like fully what, is in like the god's realm, like in the sky, like in heaven, pretty much. And she kind of like touches on that a little bit, but not like where it's like super biblical. It's just saying like, oh, it's up in heaven, or like in the stars. And I'm just really enjoying it. And I really like the magic system in this. Like there's shadow welders or shadowmancers. I love that term. And there's just so much cool magic that's going on in this. So yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. But so I'm like, oh, I'll just listen to Beg, Borrow, or Steal, or start listening to it driving to see my friend. But I'm like, wait, I don't have a car. But my friend is picking me up tomorrow, and we're going to go out near me. So that was nice of him to actually come to me, because like he hasn't come to my house in a hot second to pick me up. So because I usually always go to him, because we usually play like Mario Party there like all the time. But yeah, I'm probably not gonna make another update on this until like maybe I'm like a little bit over 300 pages at least, because like I don't want to keep on making like 2-hour check-ins constantly. So maybe I'll make a check-in when I'm at 13 hours or like 12 hours or something. I should be able to read for pretty much the same amount of time tomorrow. I don't know why I'm always shouting, like everybody is sleeping right now. But I should be able to read for the same amount of time tomorrow. I do have to go get my tooth pulled literally at noon. So like less than 12 hours from now. My mom wanted me to do it like when we got there because I had to go to the dentist to get an x-ray first, and then my dentist said that I have to go to basically the guy that had to align my gum line when I got a root canal like 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago. But he did say that the tooth on this side is full of decay and I'm gonna have to get it pulled because he said it was a better idea for us to not save the tooth, and I've never had a tooth pulled before, and they said like it sounds worse than it actually is. They said that once they numb you, they said you're not supposed to feel it, but I always feel like my sensitivity is like so high, especially like with all the procedures I've had done in my mouth, so many oral surgeries. But anyway, what was I gonna say? So I'm not gonna have reading time in the morning unless I'm like awake at like 8 or 9 a.m. Then I'm just gonna start reading again. But yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. I'm really liking it. Maybe I'll start listening to Beg, Borrow, or Steal at some point. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to have time to though, because I'm just gonna be wanting to listen to this. But at least my Spotify they're both included in Spotify Premium, by the way. That's why I've been able to listen to Heavenly Bodies, which is right here. I'm on chapter 19, and I'm really liking the narrator of this too. So I'm 30% of the way through already, which is really good. So I'm getting through this book a lot faster than I thought I was going to. Hopefully I'll finish it by like maybe the 10-hour mark or the 9-hour mark. So that means I would have a whole 9 hours still to finish Beg, Borrow, or Steal. And I don't think I'm going to need 9 hours to finish that book. But honestly, like I said, this has really helped me pull myself out of falling into a reading slump. And it's been really fun. And I've been really excited to read again. I think, like I said, because I picked things that I was just in the mood for, like I said, it helps so much. And since I chose 3 different formats to read, like on my Kindle, an audiobook, and a physical book, and another physical book, I think that helped a lot. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to check in when I get a lot further into the book. But this is the last check-in I'm going to make for the first day of this challenge. And actually, it's been really, really fun. So that's it. Bye. So hey there, guys. So I wanted to give you guys some book updates on the 2 books that I'm in the middle of for this challenge. So I'm at 12 hours and 39 minutes. I only have read for... Actually, I think it's been only like 4 hours today, 4 hours and 20 minutes, because I told you guys last night that I stopped at 17 hours, because I wanted to go to sleep. But I can't believe I've only read for like 4 hours and 20 minutes today. But I'm about to read more of Heavenly Bodies by Amani Ariu. But I got so far in this book today. I'm up to page 339. I was on page 155 last night. So I'm almost 200 pages in today from where I started last night. And I think I'll be able to finish this book very soon. Because I only have like 140 pages left. But I was listening to a little bit of the audiobook today because I had to go get my tooth pulled today. If you can see that gap, my tooth is gone. So it hasn't really been a amazing week for me, honestly. It's been a pretty shitty week, honestly. I'm not really doing that great mentally. But anyway, just wanted to say that I'm loving this book. And I think I'll be able to finish this possibly... Hold on, sorry. Possibly around... Why does my face feel a little tingly again? That's a little bizarre. It shouldn't feel like that. Maybe I should grab some more. I took some more Advil like an hour ago, and I've been icing it on and off like for most of the day. Just, I don't know why it feels weird. I'm just gonna not talk after this. I actually had plans to see my friend earlier, but I texted him and I was like, I probably shouldn't go out, like, because it says you're supposed to rest like as much as possible today. I mean, we're supposed to go out to dinner, so I think we're gonna go tomorrow. They said like it's better after like the first day, so I think I'll be fine, or like it won't like be, it's not really that sore, honestly. But I think it'll feel better tomorrow, you know? So anyway, I'm loving this. I think it's so good, and I think I'll be able to finish this around like the 10-hour mark or a little bit after that, maybe like under 10 hours. So because I'm literally flying through this, I think it's so good. Like I said, it's super fast paced. And I'm probably going to read at least another, I was going to try and finish it tonight. Maybe we will. I'm not really sure because I might want to stop reading at some point, but it's only 9:30. So I have like another good 2 hours to read right now. So that should get us closer to the 10-hour mark. So we'll see how much we get through. I'll probably get to like over page 400 and then maybe I'll just finish it tomorrow. But I want to get to as close to the end as possible right now. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. So this will definitely be our first full book read in this video, which is great. And then I also started Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. I actually started the audiobook of this because, like I said, it's on Spotify Premium for free. And I'm on page 42 already. So I pretty much have read pretty much over 200 pages today. Oh, I forgot to put moisturizer on after I put some cuticle oil on. And oh my god, this is so good so far. It's so funny. I've heard that this is pretty much like her best book. I don't know if I'm going to go back and, well, I do want to read When in Rome and Practice Makes Perfect, but like I said, Sarah Adams said that you don't have to read them in succession. Like, you can read them out of order. It doesn't really matter. But it is based on one of the sisters, I think, from one of the other books, but they're like pretty much completely standalone books. But also, I think it picks up off of him leaving his relationship. I don't know if he's in the other books. I'm not really sure. But so far, this is so funny, and I'm really having a good time with it. I feel like it's really good with romance books is to switch up authors every once in a while, because everybody writes romance differently, even though there is always like a third act breakup, or it's like, but this is like a really good like enemies to lovers trope. This is kind of reminding me of, is she really going out with him? But like, I just think it's so funny, like, that she's already keeping this theme throughout. Like, she's already said steal a couple of times from him, and it's just been really great, and I'm having a really good time with both of these books. So I'm hoping to finish this one probably by Thursday. I'm going to read as much as I can tomorrow, but I should be able to start reading this physically tomorrow. I'm definitely going to listen to more of the audiobook tonight, like when I'm showering and stuff. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have any other updates for you guys. So I should be done with Heavenly Bodies by tomorrow. So that's great, because I really have had nothing to do besides read when I'm home. And when I went to get my tooth pulled, I was like, when I got home, because I was listening to the audiobook, so I guess I've read 100 pages of this when I came home. Okay. I didn't realize it was that much, because I think I was on page 230 by the time I came home, and then I haven't really been reading in like long increments today. Honestly, I've just been reading like 30 pages there, 40 pages there, and I guess I read 100 pages. I didn't even realize that. Okay, that's great. So we're just going to continue reading that, and I'll check back in with you guys when I finish the book. But so far, I'm having a blast with this book. I think it's so funny. I love their banter. I also, again, think that they're keeping up the... You know what I'm thinking, though? I think they're keeping up the fantasy and the magic and everything, and it's just I'm having a great time with it. But I also think that Onyx Storm kind of took a little bit from this book. I know, like, I don't know. Of course, like, there's certain similar magic themes in certain books. For, romantasy, but she can dreamwalk in this book, and that is a similarity in Onyx Storm. I'm not going to say what, because that would be heavily spoiling it. But, and there's also kind of like, there's one part where he washes her hair in this. And that's also like a really sweet thing that Xaden does for Violet in Onyx Storm. But I'm not saying like, I'm just saying like, I'm noticing some similarities. Not everything was, taken from this, because I'm sure like, romantasy, like I said, there's so much you can do with it. But sometimes there are similarities with them, and I've just been noticing that. But also, this book was published in 2022, like at least 2 years before Onyx Storm. So, yeah. I'm just pointing it out. I don't think maybe she was just influenced by it, but it's not like a carbon copy like it is with Powerless and Red Queen. And I've heard that literally Powerless took so many things from Red Queen that it's almost like too similar, which I still haven't read Red Queen. I've read all of Powerless. I've read Powerless, Powerful, and Reckless, but I haven't read the Red Queen series because I've heard it's not that great. So, but that is on my TBR along with 5 million other series this year. So, but at least we'll be able to finish book 1 of this. And then, like I said, the second book gets traditionally published in November, which I'm really excited about. So, I'm only starting new series unless I can binge the whole thing, or there's only one book out. That's been my rule for a long time. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, guys, I just wanted to let you guys know that we finally finished our first full-length book that we read in this vlog and in this challenge, which is Heavenly Bodies by Imani Ariu. I freaking loved it. I freaking loved it. It only took me another 40 minutes to finish, so we're at 8:42:26. So a little under 9 hours left of this challenge, and I absolutely loved it. I gave it a 4.75 out of 5 stars. It wasn't quite at 5 stars, but it was very, very close, and I think that this is, like I said, it's an incredible first book in a series, and I cannot wait to read the next book when it gets traditionally published in November, but I adored this. I thought it was so good. I cried a little bit because I thought someone was gonna die, and they actually ended up dying for a little while. So yeah, take that for what you will. But it was so good. Oh my god, I loved this. It was just such a great read, and I'm so happy that this sparked my passion to read again, because like I said before, I was feeling extremely reading slumpish. I didn't really feel like reading, and now I'm so excited to read more. So yeah, I loved it. I can't really say much else because it's going to spoil it. But honestly, this would have really fulfilled my angels prompt for my TBR jar. I might just pull it from the jar and mark it as the angel prompt for this one, because there were mentions of angels in this, and then, you know, dragons and celestials and star gods, and it was just, oh, so good. I loved it. For my first celestial fantasy, I loved this. I can't believe it took me this long to read a celestial fantasy, but this book is so worth the hype. It was so good. So now we're just going to continue Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. I have like a good, I think, hour and a half of reading time before I have to go out, or maybe like a little bit under an hour and a half. So we at least will be able to get another hour down on the timer. So I should be able to get to at least 150 or so before I leave, and that's literally perfect because that would be chapter 13, and that would be a decent amount into this book because it's only 360 pages, but we're definitely finishing this before this video is over and before the challenge is over. And again, I'm struggling to see what I'm going to read after that because, like I said, I think we're going to have quite a few hours left before the timer runs out. My tooth is doing a little bit better today. It does feel kind of tender right now, especially when I talk. It's a little bit sore here, but other than that, I took some extra strength Tylenol like an hour ago, and I took amoxicillin, and I also took the first dose of the rinse that they asked me to use. I just used the rinse, obviously, and that did help quite a lot with some of the soreness. So yeah, I will update you guys probably when we get closer to like 6 hours or so that we have left in the timer, or maybe like 5 hours, probably 5 hours, to see how far I've gotten into this. But since it's a romance, I usually fly through romances pretty quickly. So I'm hoping tomorrow is the last day of the challenge, but I think I'm only going to get possibly 4 or 5 hours of reading time today. I'm not really sure. That would only be 3 hours left. So maybe we'll read for 4 hours today. But I would like to finish this book by like the 4-hour mark on the timer, or possibly a little bit under that. So we would hopefully have time to read She's Not Sorry. But honestly, I'm not going to pressure myself to finish these books any quicker than I am. Maybe the next time I do this challenge, I am going to pick full-length books to read. Because this book took me, I forgot to say how long it took me. This book took me probably 10 hours to read, which is not bad for a 480-page book with the rate that I read. You know, I figured it was going to take around that time. And again, this book will probably take me like 5 hours or so. So, yeah, we will see. So I'll update you guys when I'm further into Beg, Borrow, Steal. So bye for now. Okay, so hey guys. So I wanted to give you guys another update on where I'm at in this challenge. So we are at 5 hours and 36 minutes. And I cannot believe I'm on day 4 of this challenge. Like, literally, the fact that you can spread out 24 hours of reading in a 5-day period, because I don't think I'm going to finish this challenge until tomorrow. So it'll be day 5. And the fact that I have spread it out this long, it really is a long period of time, because, like, let's get real. Like, I really only have 12 to 14 hours in a day. Like, I mean, I get up late. I get up at, like, the latest 12. I mean, actually, I usually get up before 12. I'm just usually not eating breakfast until almost 12 o'clock, because I don't get up till, like, 11:30 usually. But I'm usually reading before that, or I'm watching YouTube. That's like one of the 2 things that I'm doing, because usually 99% of the time, if I'm up early, sorry, I'm just fixing my sheet because it's annoying the shit out of me. I'm either picking up my book again, or I'm scrolling YouTube or watching a YouTube video. So when I act, it really gives you a gauge of how much time you do spend reading a day. And that was like what I learned the most from this challenge, are like when I want to set time aside and how long I like to read for, because like I've said before, I think I only tops spend maybe 4 hours, maybe 5 if I have that time in the day to reading. Like I'll spend maybe 1 to 2 hours in the afternoon reading, and then I'll spend like maybe 2 hours at night reading. So, like, really, I only read for 4 hours yesterday, but I got a lot of reading done yesterday. Like, I finished Heavenly Bodies, which was like, I think like 60 pages that I had left. Yeah, I think it was like 60 pages. And then I'm still reading Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams, but I'm on page 246. I'm like stopped in the middle of a chapter because I was falling asleep this morning again. But of course, I couldn't fall back asleep, but that struggle is real. But I was on page 88 yesterday, and I'm already on 246. So I only have like 100 or something pages left because I think I only have like 115 pages left. So I'm definitely going to finish this today. I'm flying through this. But and I think it's only going to take me like an hour and a half on the timer to finish it. I feel like it's getting me to read faster too. Cause like, I mean, it is a romance book, and I'm going to read a romance book or a thriller faster than a romantasy, but I'm glad that I had decided to start with the romantasy over like a romance or thriller first, because that obviously was going to take me a longer period of time. But I think that this book has only taken me 3 hours physically to get up to this point. And that's like almost 150 pages because, like I said, I was on page 88 yesterday. So 246 minus 88. I've read 158 pages in 3 hours. Because I remember when I stopped reading Heavenly Bodies, I was at 8 hours and 42 minutes. And now I'm at 5 hours and 36 minutes. And I already read 158 pages. So that's really good, actually, for me. That's pretty fast. That's like what I averaged with this book was 50 pages an hour. So if I keep on keeping that up, I should finish it by the 4-hour mark. Because I'm hoping, well, I might read more than 50 pages an hour because that would be 100 pages. So I'm hoping to finish it by the 4-hour mark because I am hoping to finish this book that I'm deciding to read, because I just don't know if I'm going to end up having time to finish it. I mean, I'm only going to have 4 hours to finish it. But when I'm thinking about doing so, like I said, we're definitely going to finish this one. And I made the executive decision that I really wanted to read She's Not Sorry by Mary Kubica. I'm just really in a thriller mood right now after I read a romance. And like I said, it's been so much fun, like changing up my genres. And I feel like that's been really keeping me reading. I mean, that's what I usually do. I usually read a romantasy or a fantasy, and then I go into a romance and then a thriller, or then vice versa. I'll do romance, thriller, fantasy, like, because they're my favorite genres to read. So, sorry. What? Is there a reason why no one can walk the dogs at the same time? It's like friggin' impossible. Amazing. Like, my dad and my brother can never get Luna out of her cage because she sleeps in her cage all the time. It like is so annoying to get her out of there. But then when she doesn't want to come out, then the door is always open. It's not like we're keeping her in there. She's just like sleeping in there. But my dad like can never get her out of the cage to go make. So he usually takes Watson, but he never takes Luna with him because she never wants to go. But it's like so easy for me to get her out of her cage. It's like 1, 2, 3 done. And also it's raining right now, so But whatever, it is what it is. So anyway, I'm hoping to finish this in 4 hours. I don't know. I mean, it is a thriller, but I was looking at my TBR and what my shortest books were on my TBR, and honestly, I wasn't in the mood for either of them. And I know I picked out Next of Kin, but I was like, I really don't want to read back-to-back romances. I know it's February, but I already have a romance planned for Valentine's Day, and I might read The Fall Risk during that time too. I might save that for like during Valentine's Day. So I really do want to read this. I also found the audiobook on YouTube, so I could start listening to the audiobook. So I was thinking about doing that while I was getting ready for work. I don't know how far that's going to take me into this. But I don't know if that would be a waste of time just because audiobooks are always slower. But I might listen to it at like 2 times the speed because it's a thriller. So it's not like I really have to pay that much attention to it. I've seen like mixed reviews about this, but I don't know. I'm still really intrigued on it. And I don't know why I keep on listening to Francesca Reed's recommendations about thrillers because this was one of her favorite books of last year. But I really did not like The Crash, and I also didn't like some of her other Frida McFadden favorites. But honestly, that's just Frida McFadden. I haven't really read much else of ones that she's recommended besides What Lies Between Us by John Mars, and I did really like that one. I just don't think Frida McFadden is for me right now. And I've been seeing more and more negative reviews about The Crash because everybody's saying it was so boring. And I'm like, yeah, it was insanely bad writing too. So that is my update for now. I felt like I had something else to say. Oh, I'm really loving this book. It's just so funny. For my first Sarah Adams books, I'm having a great time, and I think that the banter between them is hysterical. I love how the rivalry keeps on keeping up in this book, and also I really like, even though they are enemies to lovers, rivals to lovers, they're still like hate flirting with each other, which is just so funny. And there's some incredibly hot scenes in this with them not even kissing or even touching. He's just like telling her what he's gonna do to her, and hot damn, it was really hot. So I really love that they hadn't even kissed yet, and there was like this scene where it's like you don't even care if they've kissed or not because like that's like it's like the opposite of the Spanish love deception where you're like waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for them to kiss. And the same thing with Nothing Like the Movies, where nothing has freaking happened in the entire book until they kiss, and then you don't even care at that point. With this, there's been such a good build up to their romance. It's been, even though they're still not together at this point, which is, again, it's frustrating, but at the same time it's so entertaining because like she has done a really good job of building the chemistry between the two characters because there's so much chemistry between them. And like I've said, that's one of the most important things for me in a romance book is there's gotta be chemistry, or I'm not gonna connect to the relationship or to the character's relationship. So yeah, I'm really, really enjoying this, and I think it's so fucking funny. I've been laughing out loud a few times. There's just some great one-liners in this, and I love the sexual tension between both of them. It's just such a fun time. The only thing that's a little bit frustrating is that I feel like they're not like talking about their, I mean, actually they were talking about their feelings. He's actually put himself out there a couple of times, but he'll just like brush it off and he'll be like, oh, never mind. So they're not really miscommunicating, actually. I take that back. It's more so I think they're just both afraid of the way that they feel for each other. They don't want to admit it to, like, they've already admitted it to themselves pretty much. They just don't want to have that big conversation that they need to have because they don't really know what they are right now because they've finally kissed, but they haven't done anything since then. Like the way that she makes it, she's made this relationship feel very real, and I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, most people said that this was her best book, so I'm glad that I started with this one. I'm probably going to pick up Makes Perfect from the library at some point because I do want to read that one. And that was actually going to be my first Sarah Adams book, but like I said, after I saw such good reviews about this one, it really intrigued me just to read this first. So, and I might actually return it though, because if it's not a 5-star, I might just return it. But it would be the only Sarah Adams books that I would own, because it's like really the only one I would want to own. I don't really want to own Practice Makes Perfect and When in Rome, because like I said, they even said that this is the best one in the series. And she's also done a really good job of making this a complete standalone where you literally don't need to know anything about the other 2 books in order to read this one. I'm like not confused at all about what's going on in their situations. It's just like so easy to pick up. So I would say if you just want to read this one, you wouldn't have any trouble figuring out what's going on. You won't be confused at all. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I will update you guys when I'm finished with the book. So bye. Okay guys, so I wanted to give you guys an update. So we are at 3 minutes. We're at 3 minutes. 3 hours, 15 minutes, and 19 seconds. And I pretty much figured that this was exactly when I was going to finish the second book that I read in this video fully, and that is Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. I enjoyed this book so much for my first Sarah Adams book. This was so much fun. I really, really liked this. I really enjoyed that this did not have a third act breakup, because I feel like when books have that, or romance books have that these days, I feel like it just makes, even though like I eat it up every time and I just always want to see how they get back together. But with this, there was like a moment like teasing it, and then it was like, no, that's not what I meant. Like, it doesn't mean we're over. It just means I need some time. And it was like even cuter when, I'm not going to say which character. It was just even cuter because I don't want to give it away. But it was so cute when the character then took that back and then they said, I had enough time, come here. Like, as the other character is leaving, because they revealed something about themselves that they didn't know how they were going to perceive it. And it was just so well done. And the banter between them just felt so natural. It wasn't like constant comedy. Like kind of like, even though I adore Emily Henry's banter, it just feels like this was a lot more naturally written and very relatable to, especially, the main character, Emily. I could relate to her so much because I feel like her in my family sometimes, where I'm the one that has to feel strong for everybody else. And I've literally suffered from that for like everyone, and like my boyfriend, like my mom, my dad, my sister, and my brother, especially like my sister and brother, because like I always feel like when they're here, I always have to push all my feelings aside just to keep myself together. So, because I'm the one who gets blamed for fucking everything, even though we're all fucking adults, everybody thinks I'm a bitch all the time, but I just can really relate to her, because it's like you bottle up all your feelings to take care of everybody else. And there was like one moment in this where I related to her so much, because she has, I think, 3 sisters, or it was 2. So I remember it was Madison and Amelia. Maybe it was only 2. I don't know if it was 3. I don't know if it says on the back. No, it doesn't say anything about her sisters on the back. She has multiple siblings, and she does have one male sibling as well, and his name is Noah. And there was like this one part where she was telling this story about when they were growing up during like a thunderstorm. You're always scared when you're a kid during a thunderstorm, like, because some kids don't like the loud noise. So like you either cuddle with your parents or you cuddle with your siblings. And the thing is that, like, Noah is actually the oldest, but he's the oldest son, or he's the only son. And even though she said that I'm the oldest daughter or the oldest sister, she would be the one taking care of Noah and the rest of her siblings, because Noah would be pacing the room during a thunderstorm and she would be telling him what to do to comfort her younger siblings and herself. And I feel like that so much because my brother literally does not know how to do a fucking thing. Like, I'm not being dramatic or I'm not being mean. It's just always like me and my mom taking care of fucking everything. And the fact that, like, just men in general depend on women so much in their lives, but also, like, and I'm not like tooting my own horn for every single woman. Like, there's both sexes can be awful sometimes, but, like, I'm just saying, like, when I feel like I have to be that nurturing, type of, sibling all the time, or like feel like I have so much responsibility or to take care of things or to help my mom out with things because nobody else helps her in this house, that it feels like a great weight is taken off once, someone actually wants to recognize your feelings and want to take care of you for once. And I don't usually have that. So when my friends give me compliments or when my friends do something nice for me, sometimes it's better than counting on my family. So I'm not going to get like too dramatic, but I'm just saying, like, that's how I could really relate to her. And also, like I said, I really appreciated that there wasn't a third act breakup in this, because you cared so much about the two characters that you didn't even need it. And also, there really wasn't much smut in this book. Like, there was a build up to it, but there was never actually an actual scene of them having it. It was just like, a lot of like over the shirt kind of stuff, or like how attracted they were to each other, but it didn't even need it. It was just so well done, the way that she portrayed their stories and the way that she built their characters, that it wasn't even necessary, because you didn't even care at that point because you cared about the characters so much. So I really enjoyed this. I'm going to give this a 4.25 out of 5 stars. I just didn't get a 5-star feeling from it, which is fine. I still really enjoyed it quite a lot. I thought it was just going to be a 4-star, but then I'm like, no, I enjoyed it way too much to not be a 4.25. So we're doing really well in this video so far. We found some great reads, and this definitely pulled me out of falling into a reading slump, and I got really excited to read these last couple of books because I've found some really good reads, and I'm actually glad that I've been reading the books that I've recently bought, because I just bought this a few days ago. I bought Heavenly Bodies a few days ago, and then I also bought She's Not Sorry by Mary Kubica like a week or so ago, so it's making me feel better to actually go with the books that I've bought recently, but also this one is on my February TBR. So I actually started this and I started listening to the audiobook because it's actually available on YouTube for free. So I actually got through the first 50 pages, so I'm on page 50 right now. So I'm hoping to get through this tomorrow and read the rest of it under the, I don't know if we're going to read it in 3 hours, but since it is a thriller, it should go by pretty damn quickly. And also, I always read faster than I listen to a book, so I'm hoping, but we'll see. So far, I'm not really that impressed, but I am intrigued to see what happened to Caitlin. Literally me. But I'm not really that interested in the main character story right now, and I kind of feel like I'm already predicting who's behind this certain thing that happened to the main character and her daughter, because it starts off with that and then it goes back to like their life, their normal everyday life until this incident occurs. I don't know if it's in the synopsis. No, I don't think it is actually. Oh, that's cool. So there kind of was a twist in the beginning, um, that you didn't know from the synopsis. So I like that. Because that's how it literally starts off. So I'm not gonna spoil it because it literally is on like the first page. So that did intrigue me to continue this. There are some parts that I'm just like, I feel like this is pretty predictable. But I don't know, maybe it'll turn around and maybe it'll not be what I'm expecting. So I'm going to update you guys probably when I'm on like the last hour of this challenge, and hopefully I'll be more than halfway through this book. I'm hoping to be like on page 250 or something. Because again, it's just a thriller, so I should be able to get through it relatively quickly. So, yeah, that's the update so far. I also wanted to say I started this book outside the challenge because I didn't think I was going to have time to finish it because, again, we have to finish this book first, so I don't think I'm going to have time to finish this. But I started Abby Jimenez's The Fall Risk because I did bring my Kindle with me to work, and I didn't know that I wasn't going to be working with anybody after 6:30, so I would have just brought Beg, Borrow, or Steal. But then I probably would have been distracted if a customer came in, and I probably would have forgotten to turn the timer off. So I just started reading this without the timer because I didn't want to feel pressured and also like take more time off of the like literally the hour that I needed to finish this because I read 60 pages in 1 hour to finish this book. So that's pretty damn good because I was on page 300 by the time I went to work. So I only had 60 pages left to bang out right now. And so far I'm really enjoying this. It's only 80 something pages, so I'm probably just going to finish this later. I might not read this later. I think I kind of just want to finish this, and then I think I'll just try and binge this all day tomorrow, depending on what the fuck I'm doing tomorrow. I'm supposed to be seeing my boyfriend, but I'm not really sure yet. But yeah, so far I'm really enjoying this, but like he would have to pick me up, and like I don't know. I don't even want to go out tomorrow because I have to work Saturday and Sunday, so it's going to be kind of a long weekend. But then like I don't think I'm even getting out of the house again until hopefully I pick up my car like maybe Monday. I'm not even sure yet, but then it's supposed to snow Tuesday and Wednesday. I did get to see my best friend last night. He did pick me up. I think I told you guys that. And then tonight I worked. So I did get out of the house today and yesterday. I actually been out of the house every day, but I had to get a tooth pulled and I had to go drop off my car. So it's not like I could go live my little library life and read at the library, which I've been dying to do the past couple of days. But I'm hoping when I get my car back, that's literally going to be the first thing that I do is go to the library and read. So yeah, that is about it. So I will check in with you guys when I'm hopefully more than halfway through this, and hopefully we'll be able to finish it before time runs out. But I can't believe we're at crunch time. But literally, I will finish this tomorrow, which will be the the 5th day of this challenge. But honestly, it's been really nice spreading this out. And also, like I said, this prevented me from falling into a reading slump because I do not want that to happen. It's actually been my happy place right now and such an escape. And I'm so glad that I picked these books, like I said, that I was in the mood for. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey guys, I wanted to give you guys the last update in this 24-hour readathon. I am officially on the last hour. I have an hour and 21 seconds left. So, I'm definitely not going to be able to finish She's Not Sorry in the allotted time that I have. But I made it a decent amount into this book. I read 100 pages today. Well, actually like 105. I started when the timer was at like 2 hours and 57 minutes. So I did read a little bit over 100 pages in an hour and 57 minutes, which I feel like is a little bit slow for me, but that's still like 50 pages an hour, so that's usually my average. So that's honestly fine. I probably would have been able to finish this whole book if I hadn't read Beartown first in this readathon, but we still ended up finishing Beartown, so, and I had a decent amount of that left. So we pretty much have read 3 whole books in this video, but like 2 different ones. You know, like I read like 100 or so pages of Beartown in the beginning, and then I read 167 pages of, well, 170 pages of this, and I'm probably gonna read at least 50 pages more, so I should be able to hopefully be up to part 2 before this is over. I might tell you guys my thoughts at the end on what I think of it when I finish it. I don't know. I'm gonna try and finish it today. I've only been reading today, but like I was just doing some other stuff before that. And also I wasn't really that intrigued to pick this up, but I'm pretty much more than halfway through, because this book is it's only, yeah, I think it's exactly 330 pages. Yeah, 330 pages. So I'm on page 171. Yeah, I'm a little bit over halfway through, because literally 165 would have been halfway through. So it's kind of frustrating me a little bit, though. There's not really that much of a thriller aspect to this, but I'm honestly thinking before I even finish with this book, it's probably going to be a 3-star. It's not anything groundbreaking. I picked up this book because, like I said, it's about this girl named Caitlin, which she spells her name exactly the way that I do. And everybody suspects that she didn't just jump off the bridge. They think that she was pushed. And but most of the things that, just like Megan and her daughter Sienna are kind of pissing me off a little bit. Cause like Megan has this like one part where like Sienna needs her mother, Megan, to go downstairs in the basement in where they live, because she needs like baby pictures for like a school project that she's doing. There's just like a few things in here that are so frustrating that I'm like, okay, girl, you are trying to protect your child and protect yourself because you're a single woman in New York. I'm pretty sure it's New York City. And she just like says all these things that like, I should have done this, I shouldn't have done that. And then meanwhile, it's like she doesn't. But this book is not pissing me off as much as The Crash did. The Crash was just awful. Like, this is decent enough for me to keep on reading, but at the same time, like, I don't feel any thriller aspect to this. Like, I'm not on the edge of my seat. I'm like, oh my God, what happens? But I'm interested enough to see what happens. But also, I feel like I'm figuring things out pretty quickly, and I think I know where this is gonna go. Like, especially what happened with her dad, like, because she's divorced from her husband, and Sienna went and spent some time with him. And, you know, like, he plans, like, this big thing, and I don't fully trust him. Because, like, he plans it on the day when he's supposed to, like, bring her back to Megan, because, like, his days of custody are over. But, yeah. It's like, it seems to be pretty predictable at this point. But anyway, when, earlier on, Megan goes down into the basement, and she realizes that the light switch isn't working. Like, she doesn't even go down yet, but she has, like, light from, like, out in the hallway that she's able to see, like, to go down the stairs. But meanwhile, she's still going down in the dark. So she could have fallen down the stairs. But also, she was, like, after she got down in the basement, she's like, I regret leaving my phone upstairs and not using the flashlight. It's like, yeah, why don't you just go back upstairs, grab your phone, and go back down? Like, if you thought it's already kind of dumb because it's already like I have to get these pictures for her or she'll be impatient and she won't like, I don't know. It's just really dumb. And then like her daughter Sienna keeps on saying like all these things like that her mom is like worrying about her too much in the city. And yes, teenagers do get annoyed at their parents for worrying about them too much. But, like, there's some points where, like, Sienna's, like, in the apartment alone with, like, another dude. And she's like, I don't want you having men over when I'm not here. Which is like, yeah, what the fuck? And she thinks that the guy that Sienna is seeing is a couple years older than her. Like, not just in high school, but, like, maybe, like, in his 20s or something. So she's like, what the fuck? But she doesn't, like, forbid her from seeing him, which is also weird as well, because I don't know, there's just like a few red flags in here, but also like there's some things that she says that like just annoy me. Like there was just this one line where like the police have to start investigating what happened to Caitlin because it's not deemed a suicide anymore, it's deemed a murder or an attempted murder. It's not a murder because she's not dead. She's just like in a coma. So it's an attempted murder. And they tell her like who they suspect this person, this rando dude that showed up in her hospital room one night when Megan is working, because Megan is a nurse and she's been taking care of Caitlin. And this rando dude shows up and Megan's the only person that sees him, and he's like watching Caitlin like in her bed. It's just so weird. She's like, are you family? He's like, nah. So then she describes the man to like the police like a couple days later after they're like, it's not an attempted suicide, it's an attempted murder. And like the narration says like who they, because the police say they suspect they know who it is. She's like, well, I think because I'm the it makes me suspicious that this is who it is because he's been arrested before in the past, so clearly he did something illegal and that he's a bad man. And it's like, yes, like it's just the wording that freaking annoyed me. Like I need to see where it was only like a few pages before where I'm at right now. It's right here. It says he'll be arrested. He's not a good man. Clearly, he's been arrested for something before, which tells me he's done something illegal in the past. Like, duh, girl. Like, if he was arrested, I would think so, right? So, and there's a lot of, like, domestic abuse in this, like, because she meets, like, this woman in her, like, divorce support group that she goes to. And this woman, has been beaten from her husband that she can't get away from. She finds out that she's not divorced. She actually is still married to him because that's what pieces of shit do that beat their wives. And it sucks. It's horrible. So I am appreciating that part of the story. It's she's telling it in a very sensitive way. But other than that, it's like, I feel like it's dwelling too long on these certain parts and we're not getting enough about, like, who did this. And it's not like an edge of my seat kind of, like, cliffhanger, and every single chapter is just like, oh, okay. Like, there's, like, not really that much build up. So, hopefully in the last, like, 100 pages, I'll be more hooked, but that's literally when I'm going to be done with this challenge anyway, because like I said, I only have an hour more to read. So, but yeah, we still read 2 full books in this video, and we did finish 2 other ones. So, and we're on my 5th book of this video at this point. So I would say this video was a success. And like I said, it really, really helps me to not fall into a reading slump. But this book is just, it's a little boring. So we'll see where it goes, and I'll update you guys when I'm done with the challenge and when I'm done with that book. So, bye. That's it, you guys. That's it. We completed the challenge. You can't really hear it anymore, but that's it. So I have exactly 100 pages left if she's not sorry. I read a lot of it today. I'm on page 230 exactly in this book. So, yeah. This was a fun time. Again, I'm not gonna, kill myself to finish this book, or I wasn't gonna kill myself to finish it right now, I mean. So how many pages did we read today? Because I only had 3 hours left on the timer when I started reading this physically. No way. No way. No, that's not right. Let's see. Well, that would mean I would complete it. Hold on. That's wrong. It would be 230 minus 67. I still read 163 pages in 2 hours. So that's pretty much beating my average. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much my average would be 50 pages an hour and then some. So I guess I read maybe like 55 pages an hour, which is pretty much what I've been averaging now. So it's 55 times 3. Yeah. That's pretty much exactly what I read today. Pretty much 54 to 55 pages an hour. So, yeah, I'm happy with this. I knew I wasn't going to finish it, but I still read the entire book physically today. I listened to it last night. I started listening to it last night, but I think regardless, if I started it earlier, maybe we would have been able to finish it. Yeah, I think we would have been able to finish, I think, 3 books in this video fully, which is typically what I finish in a week anyway, is 3 books, or 3 to 4 books, unless the book is like really, really short, or it's something that I can't put down. But I did find that this challenge really did help me motivate me to read more and put my phone down, because like I said, I've just been so distracted by my phone lately, and I'm usually not like that. And like I said, this challenge really got me to read more. So I think this was a success. We still finished 4 books in this video and almost finished a 5th one. I mean, granted, I had like 100 pages or so of Beartown, and I really wanted to finish that. And then I had like 30 minutes left in the audiobook I was listening to, but we still finished 2 full books. And like I said, basically read another whole ass book with the 2 books, with the 1 book I finished and the 1 book that I didn't finish. But I think that this is actually really picking up in this second half, and I'm actually like a little bit more intrigued to find out what happens. There was actually one moment where my jaw dropped. It's not anything that I'm like, still like, I'm not creeped out by this book whatsoever. I was just shocked. And I was like, what? And then there was like another moment where I was like, what? So yeah, it's getting interesting. There's still some annoying moments for me. I feel like the author, and I've seen this and I've noticed this more often since Books with Emily Fox mentioned this about Frida McFadden, because she totally dislikes Frida McFadden's writing, is that a lot of thriller authors concentrate on appearance and like the clothing that somebody's wearing a little bit too much. And she said that like Frida McFadden does that a lot, and I did notice that a lot in The Crash. But this is definitely more intriguing than The Crash. But I did think that the first half of this was a bit boring, and now I feel like it's finally picking up and we're getting like somewhere with the story. Not to say that there wasn't like a lack of interest before, but anyway, yeah, some things are happening now, and I've noticed that I'm reading faster because I'm like, okay, what's going to happen? And I feel like I'm at the point where I don't want to put it down, because I really want to find out what's going on. So I'm glad it picked up finally. I didn't make it to part 2, though. I would have had to read another 8 pages in order to get up to part 2, but I'm still happy with where I'm at. Also, part 1 is really damn long then. It's 240 pages. So I almost got through all of part 1. So that's pretty good. And then there's just part 2, which is only 100 pages. Well, actually 90 pages because it's only 330 pages. So yeah, I'm feeling good. And I, again, think this was a successful vlog. I don't know if I should recap the books that I read until, you know what, maybe I should, because they were the books that I finished in this challenge, and then I'll just do a brief review of this when I finish it after I review the ones that I actually did finish in this video. But I really, really loved all of the books that I ended up finishing in this video, and I'm going to go through them really quickly. So we did have one 5-star in this video, and I'll just bring it up really quick on my Goodreads. And I did finish The Fall Risk last night outside of the challenge, because I just wanted something like short and sweet, and obviously it was Abby Jimenez's new release, so I was dying to read that, because you guys know Abby Jimenez is my all-time favorite romance author. I have to read everything she writes. So yeah, the first book that we finished in this video was Frederick Bachman's Beartown, and this is the first book in the Beartown series, and I am dying to continue this series. I do need to pick those books up. I'm probably going to buy them on Amazon. I'm not really sure yet. I'm trying to avoid buying on Amazon as much as I can. But anyway, this book was 5 stars. I absolutely adored this. I think this is still my favorite book that I read in this video. I mean, I was reading this for a few days because I was feeling reading slumpy when I was reading this, because like I wasn't sure if I even wanted to continue reading this or continue reading anything, but I just didn't know what I was in the mood to read. So I just decided to continue reading this, and I'm so glad that I did, because it was a 5-star. Like, I already knew, regardless if I picked it back up or not, it was going to be a 5-star. It's like, it had nothing to do with the actual book. It was just me not being in the mood to read, like, whatsoever. I just really didn't feel like reading. And then we only had, like, pretty much 30 minutes left in reading this audiobook, but I did finish Lane Fargo's The Favorites, and I was listening to this. I think it only took me 5 days, and I really liked this book too. I gave it a 4.5, I believe. Did I even write a review? I did not write a review on this book. I thought I did. I'm going to have to write a review on that. Oops. I didn't realize that, but it's okay. And really enjoyed that. Like I said, gave it a 4.5. It was really, really good. And then we did finish 2 full-length books in this video and 2 full-length physical books. So I felt really good about that, because I was, again, feeling really intimidated by even finishing full books in this video, or intimidated before. But once I went into Heavenly Bodies, I could not put this book down, by Amani Ariu, and I think that this was the book that really got me to read again, because even though we did finish Beartown and I wasn't sure what I was in the mood to read after this, I'm so glad it was this, because I absolutely ate this up. I loved this book. I gave this a 4.75, rounded up to a 5 on Goodreads, because I felt very strongly about that 4.75. It's a very high 4.75. Sometimes I don't always round up, but if I feel very strongly, but I don't know. I keep on thinking about this book though, and it might be a 5-star. But there was just like a couple of lines and a couple of moments where I rolled my eyes. But other than that, like, in order for it to be a 5-star like Beartown, I'm not rolling my eyes literally ever. But it kind of made sense for this though, like some of the like romantic-y moments, you know, like the romance moments. But like other than that, this book was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed this. So I'm going to keep it at a 5 on Goodreads. I think I'm still going to keep it at a 4.75. I feel good about that reading, but still fucking loved it. And then the next full-length book that we were able, I cannot speak right now, I'm so tired, that we finished in this video is Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams, and this was my very first Sarah Adams book. And like I said, a lot of people have said that this is actually their favorite Sarah Adams book. I haven't read any of her other books, so I can't say, but they did say that this was the best book in the When in Rome series, and I absolutely ate this up. I thought it was so funny. I had such a great time with it, and I'm so glad that I picked like a shorter romance, but also since it's February, I wanted to read some type of romance, even though I had just read Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young. I feel like for me, but I read that at in the very last day of January because that was the last January release that I had to read, and I loved that book. But anyway, I was like, I just wanted a new author, and I've heard very good things about Sarah Adams, so, but also I saw that everybody who reviewed this book and read it said that they loved it, so I'm so glad that I started with this one. I kind of want to go back and read the other books in the series. I think I want to read Practice Makes Perfect next. But like I said, I think I'm going to take that out of my library, but I'm so glad that I own this one. I gave this one a 4.25. I just didn't get that 5-star feeling, and it's still really, really good so far. And then, like I said, we were able to read 165 pages of this physically and listen to 67 pages of this. So we read a total of 230 pages in She's Not Sorry by Mary Kubica. And now I am ready to finish this book because, like I said, it's picking up and it's getting really good. So I'm excited to see what happens. Francesca Reeds pretty much said that she couldn't guess the twist at the end of this, but because the first, like, honestly, 45 to 50, pretty much the first half was very predictable, and it just started picking up now. So we're going to have to see if I'm going to be able to guess the twist. I probably won't be able to, but I'm not going to sell myself short. So yeah, we're going to review this when I finish it, but I think it was a very successful reading vlog. It was a very successful challenge. I think in total, I would say I would still finish 3 books in this challenge, which is, again, is typically what I end up reading in a week. It's just like it got me so motivated to read, because like I thought, like, with a timer I was constantly gonna be checking it, but honestly it makes you not pick up your phone because you're so determined to like finish or like complete that hour or just read for an hour, and then you look at the timer and it says an hour because you haven't even looked at it in an hour. And it's so great that you set aside that time to read rather than like procrastinating on your phone. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, okay? We're not always in the mood to read something, but I was feeling so depressed, and again, a lot of shit went on this week, so I'm just glad I have my books to escape. So yeah, I'm going to finish that and we will check in later, or I might just end it now. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I'm probably just going to review it really quickly later. I'm not going to ramble on and on and on. I just wanted to review the books that we already read. So yeah, we still ended up finishing 4 books in this video, even though I was towards the end of 2 of them, but still read 2 full books, so I'm very happy about that. So bye. So this is quite a few days later, but I just wanted to pop back in and tell you guys a couple of things that I cut out of the video just because it was just way too long. I cut out the 30 minutes that I finished the favorites in. I just finished it and added that 30 minutes to finishing She's Not Sorry by Mary Kubica. I still hadn't finished it by the time the timer ran out anyway, regardless if I added that 30 minutes or not. I still did, but I just still was at 230 pages rather than 330, so we still finished it outside of the timer, but I gave that book a 3 stars. I just wanted to tell you guys what I actually rated it. And the favorites, I think I gave like a 4.5. Because again, I only had 30 minutes left in the audiobook in that one. So we pretty much read, like I said, we read 3 full books in this video because Beartown, we had like 3 hours left on it, and She's Not Sorry, we read for another 3.5 hours. So if I had started a whole book like from the beginning, I probably would have been able to finish that book in this video. Yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys that. I also cut out a little clip of me like trying to decide which book that I was gonna end this video with. But then I just ended up reading, like I said, like basically 3 books in this video because we only had, like I said, 3 hours of Beartown, 3 hours of She's Not Sorry that we read it for, and to start that book, and then read 2 whole other books in this video. So I still think it was a success. Honestly, since this, ever since I finished this reading vlog, I have been tearing through the Shatter Me series. And I told you guys I really wanted to read this this month. And I'm actually filming an entire vlog reading the Shatter Me series. And I'm already on book 5. So I think that I literally got a tooth pulled maybe a week and a half ago, or maybe almost 2 weeks ago. So it pretty much only took me a little bit over 2 weeks to finish the Shatter Me series, which I feel like that's way longer than I thought. I read an arc as well. And I think I read something else. I also read the 2 novellas in the Shatter Me series. Maybe that was it. And I also read an arc and another short story. But that was about it. But I still read 5, well, 4.5 books, because I'm basically almost halfway through this already, or I think I am halfway through, because this book is only 350 or 357, and I'm on page 175 already. So I'm just gonna read more tonight because I don't have anything else to do tonight. So yeah, just wanted to check back in with you guys, and I had ended up deciding to read She's Not Sorry to end this video with, and I just wanted to give you guys my review of it. I gave it a 3 stars. I just wanted to give you a quick update because I ramble on for forever. And now we're just gonna end the video. So yeah, please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at TBW819 and check out my Poshmark at the same handle. And keep reading. Bye.